Terry Tornek.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone that took the time to come tonight, as well as the organizers. For me, coming to this event tonight was really coming home to sort of the new Pasadena. I have the good fortune of being one of multiple city council people who represent the downtown district, which is a subject that's sensitive to some people here. But I've taken advantage of that opportunity in terms of participating in each and every one of the discussions depicted on the boards that are out in the other room. And during the past 16 months that I've been walking the city, talking to voters in every district, what I've discovered and what I think the greatest challenge for us and the priority that needs to be addressed is that on a lot of these issues that are depicted here tonight, there isn't really consensus. There's a wide diversity of opinion about how much development is too much development, how far we can go in terms of intensifying development without losing the essence that people love about Pasadena. What should the development look like? How much is too much? What are the traffic implications, et cetera, et cetera. So I think my first priority, I'm not sure this is in the right sequence, but my first priority would be to try to build that consensus, to try to understand how we can develop in a way that suits Pasadena's needs, not just the developers' needs, but meets our community's needs. And I think that's achievable. On the parklets, when I presented it at my district meeting in District 7, people seemed to like it, and yet there were some people that found it objectionable. At Gene Masuda's district meeting in District 4, there was tremendous opposition to it. Part of that is lack of information, and so I think we can do a lot better. Another issue that was depicted out there was the issue of advocacy about design. The way I started my career on the city council was in litigation against the city over the IDS project. And that was kind of a bold stroke, not one I was happy about, but one that resulted in a change, I think an important change in the way we do environmental analyses in Pasadena, and frankly in a much better project that's emerging on the corner of El Molino and Colorado today. The Passages project, which in some ways is the most complicated piece that was depicted, David Wolf's initiative, who's here tonight, has two pieces. One talks about walkability and making linkages downtown, but the other piece, which should be incorporated in all of the specific plans that we're about to amend, but the other piece has to do with changing the way we plan in Pasadena. So my third priority is doing bottoms-up planning where citizens drive it rather than City Hall. And I think that the Connections project that was also depicted about the freeway stub is the first example that we can point to of this bottoms-up, citizen-driven planning effort.
Thank you. Jackie Robinson.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to present to you my experience and the skills that I believe makes me the best candidate to be mayor in the city of Pasadena. Just a little bit about my background. I've lived in Pasadena my entire life, 36 years. I've been a member of the city council for the last 8 years and the last 2 as vice mayor. As I was going through the exhibits that you included, I selected 3 of them that I think kind of encompasses what my actual platform for mayor is. And I think a lot of the vision and issues that you have had on the forum can apply to the entire city. I spoke to a number of people, and I apologize, I did not write down everyone's names, but I kind of wrote down some themes. And so with regard to the question about what would my top 3 priorities be for downtown, and as I said, I would extend this to all of Pasadena. I think the number 1 is keeping Pasadena special. I was speaking to Karen Wingard, actually. And she mentioned that, her biggest as I was going about the room, I was asking everyone, as a downtown resident, what is your major concern? And she mentioned keeping Pasadena special. And I think that's something that extends and that reaches across the entire city. Pasadena is a very special place. We're all here for a reason. And there's a lot of wonderful things going on in this city, from our preservation of both buildings and history to, our the abundance of green space that we have to the diversity that we have amongst the people in Pasadena. And so with regard to downtown specifically, there are, of course, unique things to downtown, including the fact that the idea is you want to get people out of their cars and walking through downtown in a way that they feel safe, and keeping the independently owned small businesses that are so unique to downtown here. And so keeping Pasadena special is my first priority. Secondly, when I was at the Complete Streets table, one of the things that stood out to me was kind of the motto of, or one of the mottos of the Complete Streets movement, which was Vision Zero, and that was that no loss of life is acceptable. And I understand that that means motorcycle and traffic-related deaths and people feeling safe, whether they're walking, biking, riding, using public transportation, or in their cars. And I would extend that to the entire city as well, because we have to attack the amount of gun violence that we have in the city. And it's not something that everyone talks about, but it's something that's very personal to me as council member for District 1 and council member in Northwest Pasadena. The third priority that I would have for downtown and the rest of the city is for, through the Passages program, I really admire all the work that's been done to try to recognize the 100th anniversary of that movement here in Pasadena, and the effort to make destinations and increase walkability is one that I think needs to be done from east to west and north to south. And with that, we have to have destinations throughout the city that people can go to within their neighborhoods in order to get people out of their homes and activating sidewalks, and that's what I've done as a city council member for District 1 with the passage of the first ever Lincoln Avenue specific plan. We're seeing the effects of that now with businesses that are coming in.
You're going to have to call time.
Okay. Under new guidelines that are increasing walkability.
What about call time?
So thank you.
Thank you.
I was concluding my sentence.
And actually, well, there'll be plenty of time to talk, to explore those topics. So thank you.